Dark energies lurk in the most unexpected corners of our daily lives, affecting our relationships, health, and overall well-being in ways most people never recognize. These mysterious forces manifest through specific patterns that, once identified, can reveal whether you're unknowingly being targeted by black magic. The signs are often subtle but powerful indicators that something beyond the ordinary is interfering with your natural life flow. In this eye-opening video, I'll break down the 5 most common signs that black magic might be working against you right now. These aren't your typical superstitious warnings. These are practical, real-world signals that modern people experience every day without realizing their true source. I strongly recommend watching this entire video without skipping any parts to fully understand how to protect yourself. And if you're short on time, simply watch at 1.5 or 2 times speed, because this information could be the difference between continuing to suffer unknowingly or finally taking control of your spiritual defense. What you're about to learn might completely change how you view the unexplained challenges in your life. Let's dive right in. Have you ever woken up feeling like someone drained all your energy while you slept? That heavy feeling that just won't lift. No matter how many positive things happen in your day, it's like carrying an invisible backpack, filled with rocks that nobody else can see. Here's something funny. We're quick to blame bad moods on everything from the weather to what we ate last night. Must have been that spicy burrito, we tell ourselves, while feeling mysteriously awful for the 5th day straight. But what if I told you that these persistent mood shifts aren't always just a bad week? When black magic targets someone, one of the first signs, sign number 1 out of 5, is experiencing sudden, unexplainable mood swings that make absolutely no sense given your circumstances. You could be sitting in your favorite spot, sunshine beaming, favorite drink in hand, and still feel like you're trapped in a dark cloud that follows you everywhere. The difference between regular bad days and magically induced negative energy is consistency and intensity. We all have rough patches, but when you're targeted, the emotional drain doesn't respond to things that normally cheer you up. Your favorite music, time with friends, even that chocolate cake that always lifts your spirits. Nothing seems to break through that fog. You might notice yourself snapping at loved ones over tiny things, or feeling tearful for no reason. Small inconveniences feel like massive problems. The heaviness in your chest when you wake up doesn't match your actual life situation. People might even ask, "What's wrong?" When nothing specific has happened. Here's how to recognize if these feelings are coming from outside rather than within. They often arrive suddenly rather than building gradually. They don't match external circumstances, and most tellingly, they sometimes lift instantly when you change locations, only to return when you go back to certain spaces. If you're experiencing this first sign, start by physically cleaning your living space. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Open windows to let fresh air circulate. Use salt, yes, regular table salt, sprinkled in corners and vacuumed up after a few hours. Sea salt baths can temporarily relieve the heaviness. Salt has been used for centuries to absorb negative energy. There's a reason it appears in protection rituals across so many cultures. These mood disruptions aren't just uncomfortable. They're the first warning system your body has to alert you that something isn't right in your energetic field. Your emotions are like your spiritual immune system, and when they're being manipulated, they'll send signals through feelings that something external is interfering with your natural state of being. Now, have you ever had a headache that no amount of aspirin could touch, or woken up with mysterious bruises you can't explain? Your body might be trying to tell you something your conscious mind hasn't figured out yet. I once heard about someone who kept waking up with 3 small scratch marks on their back, perfectly parallel lines that appeared overnight with no explanation. Their doctor was baffled. Their partner confirmed they didn't scratch in their sleep. These marks would heal, only to appear again weeks later in exactly the same pattern. The second sign you're being targeted by black magic involves physical symptoms that medical science struggles to explain or treat effectively. This isn't just about random aches and pains. It's about consistent patterns that defy conventional diagnosis. Sleep disturbances are particularly telling. Night terrors that jolt you awake at exactly 3 a.m. Sleep paralysis, where you feel a presence in your room, or recurring nightmares with the same threatening figure or scenario night after night. Your sleep cycle is when your energetic defenses are naturally lowered, making it prime time for negative influences to make themselves known. What makes these symptoms different from regular illness is their strange timing and resistance to treatment. You might notice they get worse after specific interactions or in certain locations. Medical tests often come back normal, despite your very real suffering. Symptoms may temporarily improve when you travel, only to return when you get home. Many targets report unusual sensory experiences, feeling watched when alone, encountering cold spots in otherwise warm rooms, or smelling something burning or decaying when there's no physical source. These sensations aren't random. They are how your physical body processes and alerts you to energetic disruptions that exist outside normal perception. Think of it like this. Your energetic field normally flows smoothly around your physical body. When black magic interferes with this field, the disruption has to manifest somewhere, and often your body bears the brunt by developing physical symptoms at the points where your energy is being drained or manipulated. If you recognize these signs in your own experience, simple energy clearing practices can help. Sound can break up negative energy patterns. Try clapping in corners of rooms, ringing bells, or playing singing bowls. Certain herbs like sage, rosemary, and cedar can help cleanse your physical space when burned safely or used in sachets beneath your pillow. Your body is an incredibly sophisticated instrument that can detect energetic imbalances long before your conscious mind understands what's happening. Learning to listen to these physical signals could be your greatest protection against continued targeting. If you're finding this information valuable and it's helping you make sense of experiences you've struggled to understand, consider smashing that subscribe button right now. Each video builds on this knowledge, creating a complete system for recognizing and protecting yourself from negative energetic influences. Your support helps ensure this often hidden information reaches everyone who needs it. Now, the fabric of our connections with others is delicate yet resilient. We argue, we make up, we drift apart, we come back together. But there's something distinctly unnatural about how relationships change when black magic is involved. Something that feels like watching a movie where all the characters suddenly have different personalities. The third sign you're being targeted by black magic involves your relationships deteriorating in ways that defy normal social patterns. This isn't just about growing apart or having disagreements. It's about sudden, inexplicable ruptures that seem to happen in multiple relationships simultaneously. Think about it. Have you recently experienced loved ones becoming distant overnight? Friends who've always been loyal suddenly becoming suspicious of your motives? Family members who pick fights over issues so trivial you can't even remember? What started the argument? These aren't random relationship hiccups, they're strategic attacks. Relationships are targeted first because they form your emotional support system. When you're isolated, you're more vulnerable to further negative influence. It's like how predators in nature separate one animal from the herd. Alone, your defenses are weaker. The conversations themselves might feel strangely distorted. You say one thing, but somehow the other person hears something completely different. Misunderstandings multiply beyond what's statistically likely. You might notice bizarre synchronicity, where multiple relationships hit crises at exactly the same time. What makes these relationship disruptions different from normal conflicts is their irrational quality. People you've known for years might suddenly attribute motives to you that don't align with your character at all. Or they might report you said things you know you never said. It's as if someone is deliberately rewiring how others perceive you. Another telltale sign is when people describe you using nearly identical negative language that doesn't reflect how you actually behave. This suggests they're being influenced by the same external source. You might also notice that certain individuals seem unaffected, while others are completely caught in the influence. Those with strong spiritual practices or natural protection often remain immune to the manipulation affecting others in your circle. Sometimes you can identify when a loved one is also being targeted because they'll display the same symptoms you're experiencing: unexplained mood shifts, physical ailments, sleep disturbances. The targeting can spread to those closest to you as a way of amplifying the original attack. The most important thing to remember is that these relationship disruptions aren't your fault, nor are they necessarily the fault of the people pulling away. Both sides are being manipulated by an external influence designed to create chaos and isolation. If you find this information valuable and want to support the channel and the work being done to bring this knowledge to light, you can leave a donation by clicking the thanks button just below this video. Your support helps ensure we can continue researching and sharing this vital information with those who need it most. Let's continue. Bad luck happens to everyone. Your car breaks down, you miss an important meeting, your wallet goes missing. But when does a string of unfortunate events cross the line from normal life challenges into something more sinister? The fourth sign, you're being targeted by black magic, involves patterns of misfortune that defy statistical probability, what I call the impossibility of coincidence. This isn't about having a bad day or even a bad week. It's about recognizing when the universe seems suspiciously aligned against you in very specific areas of your life. Pay close attention to timing. Do roadblocks mysteriously appear every time you're about to make progress? You finally schedule that job interview and suddenly your car won't start. You're about to launch that business and your computer crashes, erasing months of work. You're ready to sign a lease on a new apartment and the landlord calls to say it's no longer available. Once is chance, twice is coincidence, but 3 times or more is a pattern that demands attention. Financial disruptions are particularly telling. Money that seems to vanish without explanation, unexpected expenses that drain your resources just as you're starting to get ahead, bank errors that always work against your favor, or digital payments that never arrive at their destination. Your career might suffer in ways that make no logical sense. Promotions you were guaranteed suddenly disappear. Projects you lead mysteriously fail despite your careful planning, and opportunities vanish at the last minute for reasons no one can properly explain. What distinguishes magical interference from ordinary challenges is the precise way these blockages align with your moments of potential growth or happiness. It's as if something is watching, waiting for you to almost succeed, then pulling the rug out at exactly the right moment to cause maximum disappointment. Normal life includes a random distribution of good and bad luck, but magical targeting creates concentrated pockets of misfortune in specific areas of your life while leaving others untouched. It's this specificity that reveals the intentional nature of what you're experiencing. The timing often follows significant positive steps you've taken, just started a spiritual practice. Suddenly your meditation space floods, finally healing from old trauma. Your support system mysteriously falls apart. The attack intensifies precisely when you're about to break free from old patterns. This targeted misfortune often operates through chains of events so complex they seem impossible to orchestrate, yet they happen anyway. It's like watching dominoes fall in an elaborate pattern designed to ultimately block your progress in very specific ways. Understanding this pattern is powerful because it removes self-blame. These aren't failures of character or effort on your part. They're external obstacles placed in your path. Recognizing them as such is the first step toward breaking the cycle and reclaiming your natural flow of opportunities. When you feel the weight of these impossible coincidences crushing your progress, remember that awareness itself is a form of protection. The patterns lose power when exposed to conscious recognition. Your awareness shines light into the darkness where this influence operates, and light is something that darkness cannot overcome. Now, I need you to close your eyes for a moment and think about your recent dreams. Have certain symbols, figures, or scenarios been repeating night after night? The veil between worlds thins when we sleep, making our dreams powerful messengers when something is attempting to influence our energy. The fifth sign you're being targeted by black magic reveals itself in your dreams and heightened psychic experiences. This realm of experience often gets dismissed as imagination or coincidence, but your subconscious mind perceives energetic attacks long before your conscious mind can name them. Have you been seeing specific symbols repeatedly in your dreams? Particular numbers, animals that feel threatening, or scenarios where you're being chased or attacked? Pay special attention to recurring threatening figures, shadowy shapes, distorted faces, or entities that watch but don't speak. These aren't random nightmare characters. They often represent the actual energy that's targeting you. Many people report enhanced psychic sensitivity as a defensive mechanism when they're being targeted. You might suddenly start knowing who's calling before you check your phone. You may feel drawn to turn down a different street, only to later discover you avoided danger. Your intuition sharpens as your spiritual self attempts to warn and protect you. The phenomenon of seeing shadows or figures in your peripheral vision is particularly common. When you turn to look directly, they vanish, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. Your side vision sometimes captures energetic forms that direct sight filters out. These glimpses aren't your imagination running wild. They are momentary tears in the veil that normally separates visible and invisible reality. Time distortions and déjà vu experiences often increase during periods of magical targeting. You might feel like you're moving through molasses while everyone else operates at normal speed. Hours might pass in what feels like minutes, or minutes might stretch endlessly. These anomalies occur because magical influence often operates outside normal time constraints, causing ripples in your perception. Your dreams might contain warnings or messages, information you couldn't possibly know that later proves accurate. Numbers or words that seem meaningless may later connect to real-life situations. These aren't coincidences, but messages from your higher self, attempting to communicate vital information through the language of symbols. The connection between the dream world and magical influence exists because sleep temporarily removes the logical filters that might otherwise block your awareness of subtle energies. Your dreaming mind recognizes and processes energetic intrusions in their true form, often translating them into symbolic scenarios you can remember upon waking. To distinguish between normal dreams and those influenced by external energies, look for emotional intensity that lingers long after waking. Pay attention to dreams that feel more vivid and real than ordinary ones, where colors are more saturated or details unusually sharp. Notice if you wake up feeling drained instead of rested, as though something was feeding on your energy while you slept. Have you experienced any of these dream patterns or psychic phenomena? Take a moment to reflect on your recent nights. Have you been dismissing these experiences as stress or imagination? Your subconscious might have been trying to alert you to exactly what we're discussing today. Remember, these increased psychic experiences aren't something to fear. They're your spiritual immune system activating its defenses. Your awareness is expanding to help you identify and ultimately protect yourself from the energies targeting you. Now that you understand the 5 key signs, persistent negative energy, unexplainable physical symptoms, relationship disruptions, patterns of blocked opportunities, and unusual dreams, you're already standing in a position of greater power. Recognition is truly the first and most crucial step toward protection. Remember that your intuition is your most powerful ally. If something feels wrong, despite all external appearances suggesting everything is fine, trust that feeling. Your energetic body often senses attacks long before your logical mind can explain them. This isn't paranoia, it's your natural defense system working exactly as designed. The good news is that simply identifying these signs already weakens their hold over you. Black magic thrives in shadows and uncertainty, feeding on your confusion and self-doubt. By bringing these patterns into the light of your awareness, you've already begun the process of breaking their power. Basic protection starts with visualization. Imagine a bubble of bright white or golden light surrounding your entire body, repelling any negative influence. Salt baths, sound clearing, and regular space cleansing can help maintain your energetic boundaries. These aren't superstitions, they're ancient practices that have survived for millennia because they work. If you've recognized multiple signs from this video in your own life, I strongly encourage you to explore deeper resources on spiritual protection. Share your experiences in the comments below. Not only does this help others realize they're not alone, but the simple act of naming these experiences helps diminish their power over you. You have the right and the ability to reclaim your energetic sovereignty. These influences may be powerful, but your own spirit is more powerful still when you choose to stand in your authority and refuse to allow external manipulation of your energy. The video appearing on your screen right now will take you deeper into specific protection methods that complement everything we've discussed today. The algorithm has selected this content specifically for you based on what you need to know next. Click on it now to continue building your knowledge and strengthen your defenses immediately. Your energetic well-being depends on taking this next step.